The boys in orange and blue continue to impress, extending the win streak to 7 games. Aren't we happy, New York City? They're doing it the way we always wanted them to, winning in dramatic fashion against sub-500 teams, which has been the theme for these Knicks all season. The Big Six that has emerged has definitely been on fleek these past 6 games. You're talking about Shamit with the starting 5, all 6 averaging double digits, all 6 doing the same tonight. Man, listen, man, we knew that the Washington Wizards, and this is another I told you so moment. I told you he was going to win by 30. Man. And the boys did it the way we wanted them to. I do got a couple of questions that we will ask tonight. Should the Knicks stand pat? Should we avoid making any trades? Do we have what we need? That's my first question, right? And then the second question I got, now that we won these 7 games and we got all of these sub-500 teams behind us, how well do you think we're going to do against the next 3 games against top 10 teams in the NBA? We're going to talk about that tonight on the post-game call-up show. Big time salute to everybody in the building. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan. And I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes, man. Tell a friend that we live, man. Welcome to the show. This is the post-game call-up show. And the Knicks got a defiant victory. Before we begin, let me say what's up to some cool people in the building. I see you, Crim's dad. Yes, I'm on time. Yeah. Trying to get an earlier start on these post-game call-up shows. Big time salute to Zach, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member. I see you in the building early. Of course, the super pet producer, Maxine, in the house. Jay Davis, I see you. Big time salute. Make sure we smash that like button all the way in. As you know, we are on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and we need your help. It's a shame that we discovered that coming into the broadcast that only 56% of our viewers in the last 28 days are subscribed to the channel. So we need you guys to help us out. You guys have to continue to hit the subscribe button on your way in. If you're not, of course, smash that like button. And then you might want to hit that bell icon because we go live twice a day, every day. And sometimes we do 3 a days when there's brand news. So you want to make sure you guys subscribe. We're on the road to 10,000. And we also are doing a very, very special event. This will take place on February 13th. And bam, as I go into research mode. Oh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to get it on the screen. But I want to share with you guys the first ever 24-hour live stream that's taking place. Okay. And this will go down on February the 13th, which is a Friday, the day before Valentine's Day. So you guys got to make sure you guys are in the building as I get this on the screen in 2 seconds. Bam. So you guys can check this out. This is in the community section. We will be going from the morning time all the way to early Saturday morning. Make sure you guys are there for the first ever 24-hour stream, all right? So big time salute to everybody in the building. Continue to smash that like button, man. So call up 646-995-8385. We talking about this Knicks game. I want to know where you guys stand. Now that the Giannis trade seems to be delayed to the summertime, you know, we talked about that this morning on the Blue and Orange Breakfast Show. And we also will have another breakfast show tomorrow morning where I will give you the ins and outs to this whole Denver Nuggets game. Nonetheless, you know, the whole Giannis saga seems to be behind us right now, based on the latest reports. Well, at least until the summer. I'm not going to say behind us. But you better believe when it gets to the summertime, the boys in orange and blue will be back. But this Washington Wizards game I mean, it didn't disappoint. Another big time blowout. I told you guys. So I mean, I told you I do my scouting report, man. Let me show you guys. This is a scouting report right there. You see that? Scouting report, man. It has all the stats. I told you that the Washington Wizards were bad. Very bad. Now, their offense was a little bit better. In the last 5 games, they were a top 20 offense, ranked 18th, but overall 29th ranked offense, 29th ranked defense. Just a recipe to get smacked. And the Knicks and our success against teams like this continues to thrive. Now, if you notice, MSG gave out a stat. I believe it was 18-4 or something like that. Not 100%. But my sub 500 record is different from theirs because I have a different methodology for the way I keep track of the stat. One, I don't like to change the record just because a team becomes 500. So when I tell you that we beat a team that's sub 500, I'm not going to change it later. Perfect example, right? When we beat the Chicago Bulls and they beat us, they were above 500 team. I think they had the best record in the East. This was like 6 games into the season. I'm not going to double back and change it when the Bulls go sub 500. And then now that the Bulls are above 500, I'm not doing that. That's just too wacky for me. So when I give you my stats are based on that. So just in case if you notice that my stats is different, it's not that my stats is wrong. I just keep track of it differently from the way the NBA does. So our record, according to the way I track it, I keep it the same at the time. We are now 20-3 against sub 500 teams, man. Round of applause for the boys in orange and blue. At one point, I didn't think we were going to lose to these teams, but even better on the road, we are 8-1 against sub 500 teams. The way we're playing now, with the defense being much improved and the swagger and the chemistry, I don't foresee us losing another game to another sub 500 team. I think you could put that in the books. There's a lot more stats I want to get into tonight. And we definitely will be getting into it. I'm going to give you a complete breakdown of this game, the numbers that you didn't know. And, you know, I study the game, man. I use the 82 Nights, the official basketball intelligence system. We'll talk more about that a little bit later. But it helps me keep track of all of the elements to this game. And I think that this team is definitely ready for this stretch. That's one of the things I want to know from you. Do you guys believe in your heart, mind, body, and soul that we will be able to take on these next top 3 teams? We do got a caller. Hello, caller. State your name, where you calling from.
It's your boy from LA, man. It's your boy from
man.
LA.
I know, man. Talk to me, brother. Let's go, man.
To go straight to the point. First thing, as you said, sub 500 team destroyed him. You called it. You said, like, we're going to win by 30.
Yes.
Facts. We destroyed him. Great. Now, I just want to get to this Giannis thing. I want to point something out real quick for those who don't necessarily understand why some of us are so focused on Giannis, right?
Okay.
First things first, the first game in the history of the NBA was played by the Knicks, right?
Yes.
The Knicks played the first game in the NBA. We call the Knicks, we call New York the Mecca of basketball. Also, spring of 1973, the Knicks won their last championship. That same year, in the summer, hip-hop was invented.
Okay.
This means the entire genre of hip-hop from New York City has never seen a Knicks championship. Wow. So there's never been a Jadakiss bar that says you're at the Knicks parade. It's never happened. Why am I bringing this all up? When we're talking about somebody like Giannis, we are not just talking about right now. We're talking about the guy is halfway our franchise's championships, bruh.
That's facts.
This guy has more MVPs than our entire franchise.
That's a fact.
It's the Knicks. When we're talking about Giannis, we're not just talking about right now. We're talking about our entire franchise, y'all. And the reason why I'm passionate about this, and I would keep it short. I'm hearing Minnesota. Leon.
Oh, yeah.
Leon, please for the love of goodness graciousness, do not let the New York Knicks lose Giannis to Minnesota. Please. And the reason why they're saying he favors Minnesota is because he wants his career arc, that legacy play. He wants to be one who wins their first championship. Giannis, I know you don't know America. If you're listening to this, I promise you, the third championship of the Knicks will be worth more than anything you can do first for Minnesota. Please.
Facts.
Leon, do your job, bruh. Please. I don't care about this game. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. It's the Wizards, bruh.
Let's go.
At this from the context of the championship, bro.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? But I'm going to holler at you, bruh. Please.
Man, big time salute. Big time salute. I'm going to respond to you too, man. Big time salute to my man D from Los Angeles. He killed it. He said that when hip hop was created in New York City, big time salute to New York City pioneers. When hip hop was created, we hadn't seen a championship. We got to do this for hip hop, y'all. We got to get it. We got to get that man Giannis in the summertime. I don't believe the Minnesota hype. We talked about it earlier today on the Blue and Orange Breakfast Show. I don't believe the Minnesota. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Why would he want to go back to another Milwaukee, a team that's going to fail to put together the pieces around you because they're going to look at the salary in the books, and then who are you trading? Because now you have to convince Giannis to demand the trade. See, it always goes back to Giannis. So if he's not going to demand the trade to New York, why would he demand the trade to Minnesota? If Giannis demands the trade to Minnesota, dog, man, I ain't going to lie, man. I might become one of his biggest skeptics. Like, are you that scared of the limelight? Is my man J-Tap right? Big time salute to my man J-Tap, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. You know, he talks about star players being scared to come to New York. And that's what it seems like it may be the answer. Because why else wouldn't Giannis demand? Because in order to go to Minnesota, he has to demand to go there. The only team that had the right package was Golden State, and they turned him down because Giannis was reported to not want to be in the shadow of the legacy of Steph Curry. And then the other three teams, the big boys that could really put together a hefty package, which will be the Oklahoma City Thunders, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Houston Rockets. They said, nope, we good. We like where we are. We staying put. But we could talk a little bit about some more things too, the trades as well, if you guys want to. But I do want to stick with the Wizards a little bit. I know y'all may not care as much about the Wizards, but we did play against them. And I do want to know, do you think, besides Giannis, we know, well, hopefully most of us knows that we need Giannis. But in the event that he can't be dealt, right? He has to be dealt to the summertime. Well, God forbid he goes to another team. Leon, if Leon allows that to happen, I might put the pressure back on Leon because you allow these guys in Minnesota to come in and take this man from you when it would be a clear shot victory in the summertime. Unless like one of these other teams that I told you changed their mind in the summertime. But nonetheless, 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. I'm curious to know where you guys think about this game. A couple of things I like about this game. I'm going to tell you, I got so much notes. Then I got my flashcards. Bam. All with notes on it. Okay. So I got my 82 nights. Bam. Hold on. Let me see if I can show you the 82 nights. Bam. I got the 82 nights. Bam. Nothing but notes on there. You feel me? I study the game, even when it's the Wizards. So that's why I'm so confident when I get on this mic. But yo, the one thing I like is the fast start. You got to come out with the energy from the beginning. The Knicks have been struggling in first quarters, even during this win streak. Like in the first half, there's either they'll win the first quarter, lose the second half, and then they'll pick it up in the second half. Dominant. They're like plus 20 in the second half during this winning streak. Dominant in the second half. But in the first half, sometimes we don't get the fast start that we need. But I love it. This game, instant pressure off the rip. Then they try to get Brunson and Towns going with the two-man game, whether it's the dribble hands off screens. I like that. I also like Brunson and Towns' defense. You know, I got the statement, by the way. Hold on. And I'm going to talk about this tomorrow. But this is, remember I said this earlier, well, to the people that were there earlier on the Breakfast Show. I said, Brunson said he's a below the rim protector. You know how you got an above the rim protector or a rim protector, somebody who blocks shots? Brunson said he's a below the rim protector, which pretty much means that, you know, he is somebody who draws charges, and he is the best at doing that. And that is a fundamental part of defense, drawing charges. Big time salute to the captain, you know, for coining his own phrase. I like that. I'm going to talk more about that in the morning show. But I like their defense. Even Towns had 2 steals. I think that these guys were definitely solid to me, and they set the tempo for the rest. Because now when you see your best 2 players playing defense, to all the rest of the guys, you ain't got no choice. You know, and Wingstop is looking like Wingstop, finally. Then he brings in the young boys, the young bulls. He brings in REL. He brings in Mo D. From the gate, first off, who's the one that continue to give Mo D light and say, yo, he needs to play Mo D? I did. Mo D gets the light. He gets 5 points in the first 3 minutes. Mike Brown pours into these young boys. You see him talking to him on the side. He talked to him like, hey, man, da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. But he pours into these guys, man. And so Mo D gets in there. He ain't scared to get the shots off. He taking shots. He had a nice little layup. Then he hits a nice little 3. I thought that was fantastic. Now, on their end, they got this kid, and I told you about him once again. Listen, man, this is what I do. Hold on. This is why you guys need to subscribe and stick with me. This is what I do. All right, it's my notes right there. It's from earlier, okay? Now, I'm not sure if you can see it, but I told you they got this kid on their squad. His name is Will Riley. He's averaging, in their last 5 games, they went 3-2. He's plus 4.1 points, averaging 10. I said, yo, this kid right here, he got some game to him. I've seen him. Mind you, he's 6'10". I can't remember which game it was. But anyway, in one of the games that he played, he initiating pick and roll at 6'10". That's something we hadn't even really seen Mo Diawara do yet. Initiating pick and roll, getting a pass off the roll. So that kid, Will Riley, has some game, but you can't go. If you watch the morning show, you would have seen that and you wouldn't have been surprised. And then I like Brunson too. You know, he has the ability to just turn it up late, you know, and get going, get on the books. Matter of fact, let's take a look at some stats before. I didn't mean to go there. But let's take a look at some stats and analyze certain things that we see. But yeah, man, I could give you the entire timeline of this game. I love how Brunson, once again, notice the trend. Who asked me this question? Was it my man D from Los Angeles? Somebody asked me a question. One of you guys asked a good question. You said, does Jalen Brunson have to pass the ball? Because he had 13 assists the last game. And I said, no, we don't have no evidence for that. MSG brought out an interesting stat tonight. They said that we're 18-2 when Brunson takes less than 20 shots, I think it is. Big time salute for MSG pulling that out, because what it shows me is that they need Brunson to be efficient from the field, because I have some stats that show that Brunson being aggressive does not hurt the team. And I'm going to go into my 82 Nights club right now, and I'm going to give you the scoring stats. So, yeah, they gave us the shots, but they didn't give us the points. Okay? When you look at the points, you see anytime Brunson scores. Damn, I got the 30 points too. I just don't. I got it somewhere. For the Knicks and 10 show, no worries. I will have the 30-point stat. Anyway, I'm going to stick with the 20 points right now. Anytime Jalen Brunson scores 20 points or more, the Knicks are 13. No, I'm sorry. Wrong stat. They are 27-12 when he gets 20 or more. So Brunson scoring does not hurt the team. We need Brunson to get buckets because it helps the team thrive. And him scoring is not hurting the team. He's only had 6 games where he didn't score 20, and in those games, our record is 4-2. But mind you, 2 of those games came during this recent stretch. So, yeah. Nonetheless, Jalen Brunson doing his thing, making it happen. We still need Captain to be captain, but he only had 4 assists. We had 34 assists total. Captain only had 4 assists. What did I say on that show? It's not just Brunson getting assists. It's Bridges getting his 5. It's Hart getting his, he got 7 tonight. It's Towns getting 3, 4, right? OG gets 2. It's a team effort. Then Kolek comes in off the bench and gets 6. That's enough to get 34 assists. That 30 assist mark is a magical number for this Knicks team. It's anytime the Knicks get 30 assists or more, I'm going to give you the stat. Give me 2 seconds. That is the magical number. But 27 to me is a more realistic magical number. But 30, when they get it, they don't get it all the time. But when they get it, it usually spells victory. Anytime they get 30 assists or more, the Knicks are 15-1. 15-1. But I say the real magical number is 27 assists. Okay? Because anytime the Knicks get greater than 27 assists, they are 24-5. Check that. 26-5. So big time salute to the boys in orange and blue for doing what they do, man. When that ball moves, they usually win. And I will talk more about this on the Knicks in 10 show. But call up 646-995-8389. Even if you don't want to talk about the game, we could talk about, I do got a question, should the Knicks stay pat? Should they not make a move at the deadline? What say you? Also, how would they do in their next 3 games against top 10 teams in the league? We're going to talk about that and more after these messages.
Real question. Do you actually know basketball or do you just watch it? Because most fans watch games and talk, but they're not breaking anything down. No tracking, no documentation, no real analysis, just reactions and baseless opinions. 82 Nights changes that though. Over 200 pages to analyze what you're watching, track rotations, break down patterns, highlight players, take actual notes. That's how you go from someone who watches to someone who knows. That's how your basketball IQ levels up. Link in chat, hardcover or soft, stop guessing, start documenting today.
Definitely check out the 82 Nights, the official basketball intelligence system. You can check this out exclusively on my website, the Linktree/TheObjectiveFan, so you can expand your basketball knowledge beyond the horizon. We definitely got to continue getting the likes up, y'all. Please smash that like button on the way in so we can let the YouTube algorithm know we are live. We're talking about the New York Knicks post-game show. And once again, I told you so. Also, if you are a new viewer who are not subscribed, we noticed in our last 28 days that 56% of our subscribers are not subscribed. So you definitely got to smash that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. And of course, we have a big time event that we're getting ready to do on February 13th. So in order to help us reach our goal, we're on the road to 10K. You got to continue to smash the subscribe button if you're not subscribed as you guys come in, y'all. And it's going down. February the 13th into Valentine's Day the 14th. It's going to be crazy, man. Honestly, I might not get off the stream if we don't have 10,000 subscribers. I might have to go live for 48 hours, whatever it takes. But y'all need to help us on our road to 10,000 subscribers. Let the calls continue. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. We talking about the Knicks. I know it's the Wizards. I know. But we could talk about Giannis. I know y'all don't care about the Wizards. But to me, I like basketball, and I'm gonna take my notes and I'm gonna strike up my live, even though the Wizards is the Wizards. But they are a team that, we had some intrigue against these guys. We do have their pick, which is top 8 protected. If it doesn't convey, it will, switch over to 2 second-round picks. I don't remember the exact years on that. But, yeah, man, I think that this game has some level of intrigue, I also asked a fun question before. I wasn't serious, but I said, yo, should we consider tanking against the Washington Wizards and losing the game so that way they can get more wins? And people was like, hell no, we're not doing that. No, 100%. I agree. And you could tell that the Knicks wanted this win regardless. You feel me? So big time salute. Let me see. This is another Detroit. Yo, how many Detroit people? Oh, okay, he got a new number. Okay. Detroit Pistons fan number 5. Okay, he got a new number. He wanted me to make sure I lock in his number. Okay, look at that. Look at the dedication we get from other teams, man. They texted me to make sure I lock in the number. I got you, Detroit hater number 5. Your number will be locked in, man. But call up 646-995-8389. I'm talking about this Wizards game. I'm talking about not just the Wizards game, but we could talk about, other topics as well. Matter of fact, before I get back into the Wizards game, breaking it down, let's look at some of the moves that took place. Maybe you guys will want to call up to talk about some of the moves as well. I do got a call. Before I get to the other moves, let's take this call. How's it going, man? Rock from the ATL.
What up, It was good, man.
Hey, man, just another win, another, I told you so moment. What say you?
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Doing it again, I was thinking we should tank this game just so we could we can get closer to getting that pick.
Right.
I mean, it's
right.
not like we can't get the win back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So
100%. 100%.
Yeah, man. I wish Giannis had Harden's agent, man. It seemed like this dude do whatever he want, go wherever he want, do what you know.
Yes. Yes.
And I don't understand that.
Oh man,
He
yo,
don't care
politics.
about winning. He just go, let me get this bag. I don't care about no championship. I don't care about nothing. I'm trying to get
none
paid.
of that. Yep.
I ain't know strip clubs is that expensive. He need to be getting top pay, man. Crazy, yo.
Yeah. Do you think they pose a challenge to us now?
Nah, because
right?
he's a liability. He's a liability on defense, big time.
100%.
And I guess they did that move because from what I'm hearing, that what's his name? The star shooting guard on the team,
Mitchell.
Yeah, he got 2 more years, and he said he's not going to sign an extension. He's not happy. So I guess they did that move to try to make him happy. But who's going to be happy playing with James Harden? He don't care about winning. He just want that bag.
That's a fact. And he dribbles the air out. They talk about Brunson.
Oh yeah,
and that dude, he dribbled the air out the ball. He said, "I am a system."
Yeah,
I don't know what Cleveland's
that's a level of arrogance. I can see him bumping heads. I don't know. I think Mitchell pretty much is a laid back dude, but it's possible he could bump heads. I mean, I think in the long run, I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to lure LeBron in. Think they're gonna have a chance to get a championship.
Possibly.
But I don't think Harden and LeBron, KD either. These older guys affect winning. The only one I think still affects winning is Curry.
Right.
Yeah.
But he stayed with his team too. He ain't bouncing all over the place either. So yeah.
You heard they're willing to give up Draymond and Podensky and Kuzma for Giannis. Who wants Draymond? He don't have no offense. He's a book book bag for Curry. He's not effective without Curry. I don't understand it. If that move comes off, man, you got to scratch your head.
No, it's
on
not.
That.
Because we read a report on the Morning Breakfast Show that Giannis doesn't want to be in the shadow of Steph Curry and the Warriors. He wants to go somewhere where they didn't win.
Right, because we've seen that happen to KD.
Hey, bingo. That was the report. I can't remember who it was. It might have been Fisher or one of them dudes. But yeah. But I appreciate you though, Rock, man.
All right, brother. Take it easy.
Big time salute.
All
right. That's my man Rock out at ATL. Keep the calls coming, 646-995-8389. Yeah, we could talk about other topics. We don't necessarily have to talk about the Wizards. Try to figure out what's that sound. Like a sound. That my phone? That might be my phone. Okay. But yeah, keep the calls coming. 646-995-8389. As he called up, I was going to look at some of the trades as well that took place and see how it may impact us. To the Pistons fans, you guys, I thought y'all were going to stay put. Oh, yeah, we got the best bench and all these things. And then, let's start with the Pistons. Let's start with the Pistons. Then we get to Boston. By the way, I do got an unfiltered thought I got to do on Boston. I think for members only Sundays, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do the Boston video on Sunday. So that'll be another reason for you to join the channel because I'm going to cook on Sunday. I've been saving it because I was trying to see what trade they're going to make, but I have a video called Destroy Your Enemies Totally. That's what I thought that we did to the Boston Celtics, but clearly we failed at that regard. But anyway, let me get to these trades, okay? So this is the Detroit Pistons trade. If you don't know the details of some of these trades, I just want to see how this may impact us. Detroit, they received Kevin Huerter from Chicago, Dario Saric from Chicago. Two guys that really wasn't in the rotation when I last seen Chicago. I'm not going to lie, like I seen a lot of Chicago games, but I don't really remember those guys being fixtures in the lineup, so that's probably why they got them up out of there. As far as Chicago, they also was able to get Mike Conley Jr. From the Minnesota Timberwolves, which Minnesota must be aggressively trying to do a deal because why would you give up a point guard, a veteran like that? Maybe, once again, I haven't watched Minnesota in a while, especially since the season series is over. So, I haven't paid attention. I don't know. Maybe Conley fell out of the rotation. Nonetheless, the Chicago Bulls, they get well, I wouldn't say Jordan Navi's a point guard, but they get two guards in Conley and Jaden Ivey. And so how do you guys feel about this deal? And by the way, Minnesota got no players. They was able to shed salary. So this is another way to get rid of players. You may get a team like Chicago that can take on excess salary. And this is an example of it. So Minnesota's preparing to do a deal. Is it going to be for Giannis? I doubt it, but they're definitely preparing to do a deal. As far as Detroit, they get Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric. One of the criticisms I had for the Detroit Pistons was they don't have enough veteran leadership. And now they go get these two guys. I like the move from an objective fan perspective. I think that this is what they need, guys who are veterans. But I don't think these guys are the right veterans, to be honest. I don't really see Saric helping them win a playoff series. Maybe he does, but I don't really see that happening. But, what say you if you want to call up? And then we could talk about the Jazz. I mean, do y'all really care about this West Coast business right now? Two bad teams making deals. Okay, cool. I felt like Memphis, I don't know what the hell they're trying to do. I mean, they did get the 3 first-round picks, and maybe that's all they wanted, and they're trying to shed salary. But just a weird-ass trade. Then Utah, now you got marketing Ace Bailey and Jaren Jackson. Jaren Jackson is going to be the 5. I don't like it. But anyway, but the trade that really concerned me the most was this trade. Now, I'm not going to lie. I saw some reports saying that the Chicago Bulls, they were going to get Jaren Jackson Jr. And I was like, ooh, that's something that's different right there. Because now they got somebody who can guard Towns. Or, I'm not going to say can guard Towns because Towns has moments where he's just unguardable. But they got somebody who they could put on Towns that's a world-class defender. Them getting Nikola Vucevic, he poses a different threat. Because now you got to guard the 5 position. That was something you didn't really have to do in Boston except on pick and roll with Cater. Their 5s were really weak. Now they shore up their weakest position, which was the 5 spot, and get size. I'm curious to see if Cater goes to the bench because his defense impacts Boston to the level where they have a top, I can't remember, his 5 defense when Cater's on the floor. So I'm curious to see how they implement this, but I'm telling you right now, they also lost Anthony Simon, who did a lot for them off the bench. But maybe Vucevic goes off the bench and brings some of that scoring off the bench. I don't know what Boston's going to do. I will be doing my scouting report on Detroit and Denver. I already started doing my scouting report on Denver, and I caught the last 2 minutes of that Denver Pistons game. So I'm gonna be on tap. So what do y'all think about some of these other moves that these other teams has done? Call up 646-995-8389. We also got the Wizards. Okay, we did blow out the Wizards in dramatic fashion. And you know why I like wins like this too? Because now you guys can't, diss. Oh, it was just the Wizards, but we smacked them. We almost held them under 100 points if it wasn't for one of them young bulls hitting the 3 at the buzzer. But I'm telling you right now, man, this game it gives me confidence because they're doing it in dominant fashion. You feel me? Not because it's the Wizards, because they're doing it in it could have been a 10-point game or more closer game where guys are playing minutes. But look at the minutes. Look at the minutes. Look at the minutes, man. These guys are going to be prepared for battle tomorrow. Look at the minutes. Denver played tonight. All right. And we see them tomorrow as well. So they also playing the back-to-back. Look at this. 27 for OG, 26 for Towns, 22 for Hart, 26 for Bridges, 31 for Brunson. That's amazing. That is great coaching. Mike Brown, what he is doing, man, I love it because he's always going to be on the money because he's willing to make the adjustment. And so, like, sometimes he may make the wrong adjustment, but because he's willing to make the adjustment again, he can get it right. And you got to love it. Then look at the bench, 22 minutes, Ariel. I know it came in the fourth quarter. I know most of it came in the fourth quarter. But look at Jordan Clarkson, 21 minutes. Landry Shamet, 21 minutes. Tyler Kolek, 21 minutes. Great balance, man. Great balance. I love the balance, man. Now, hopefully we did lose Josh Hart. He didn't return to the game. We also lost Mo Diawara. Hopefully those guys will be okay. Let me see if I got any updates on these guys because we're going to need Hart for tomorrow, man. The Denver Nuggets are going to be upset because they lost to Detroit. So they're going to be coming tomorrow to try to get their lip back or try to get a win. And so we need to be on our A game. Hopefully, only thing I see here is Mo D. He's out for the remainder of the game. And the same thing with Josh Hart. He was out for the remainder of the game. So we are waiting to see what the updates will be with those brothers. I will let you guys know in the morning as well when we do the blue and orange and brunch. But the minutes distribution in this game to me was amazing, man. Was amazing. As far as what I noticed about the second quarter, Jordan Clarkson early in the game when he first came in, I know he finished with 12 points. A lot of that came in garbage time. But Jordan Clarkson looked like he didn't have his legs early in the game. I do got a caller.
Yo, Karan.
What's going on? Yuri, man. How's it going, family? Talk to me, brother.
Good. One thing straight. Minutes distribution were on point tonight.
Let's go.
You gotta give credit to Mike Brown on that. He managed the minutes perfectly. No starter was injured. Starters unfortunately got injured. But Mike Brown still managed to keep the minutes under 30, which I think is huge for us. Because now they're still gonna have their legs on their way back to MSG for the Denver Nuggets game. We should find out about Hart and Mo D if they're going to be available tomorrow. I expect Hart to be available tomorrow. That man will play through a 20 SCL, if you will. For God's sake.
I hope he don't got to do that. I hope he's good to go though.
I hope
Seriously.
so too. They were able to walk out without a boot, Karan. So that tells me that they're going to play tomorrow.
Okay.
They were able to walk out without a boot.
I hope. I think Diawara plays for sure.
Yeah, I want to answer your questions though. Should the Knicks stand pat at the deadline? I'm going to say no, they shouldn't stand pat at the deadline. They got to get off of that Yahoo contract.
Okay.
If you got to attach seconds to it, attach seconds. I don't care what you got to do. You need a 9-man rotation before you go up against Detroit and Boston. Do we have what we need? That's a tough question because I was thinking about that today, after the call about the whole Giannis stuff, especially with Giannis hoping probably going to be a Timberwolf before the deadline. And
But did you get any new reports of that, or are you just making an assumption?
making an assumption. And
I don't see it happening. He doesn't want to go to another Milwaukee, but go ahead.
Right. I don't know what's going to happen at this point, Karan, but moving on. Do we have what we need? I would like to say yes. But come on, this team was shackled and hide. I can't ignore January happened. Didn't happen.
Okay.
So it's tough for me right now. It really is. Like my mind is still telling me do the Giannis trade, but my body wants to see how this team fares in the playoffs again. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's tough because, like I said, this team's very Jekyll and Hyde right now.
That's a fact.
Yes, this team is on a 7-game win streak, which thank God for that. Because if this team went down any further, they probably would be a playing team at this point. And this is a parity league right now.
Right.
You know, and I don't know how to, again, Karan, I don't know how to feel about this team. I know I'm repeating myself. I'm just gathering my thoughts right now. That's how I feel. I can't give a grip on this team. Anyway, appreciate the call, brother.
Really quickly, before you go, what would our record be for these next 3 games against top 10 teams?
I'm hoping for 2-0. Give me 2. Give me
2-1?
Seconds.
Gotcha. Big time salute, Yuri. I appreciate you, brother. All right, that was Yuri calling in. I want to respond to one thing he said. He said that the Giannis trade at the deadline. So I know a lot of you guys are new, or you guys wasn't on the morning show. On the morning show, we came to the conclusion that Giannis won't be moved to the summer. That's where the latest reports are pointing towards. I know Minnesota is trying to be aggressive, but where the latest reports are right now, the Knicks are not trying to make a move. Hold on, let me mute my phone because I got my sound on, and it's like kind of throwing me off because it got all these crazy. I get so much notifications. Anyway, nonetheless. So, but based on where the latest reports are, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks are willing to wait till the summer to make the deal happen. Now, I think that's a strong possibility because I felt like the Warriors would have had them. The package the Warriors were offering were the best package. The Minnesota Timberwolves were just offering players, and the Milwaukee Bucks were not interested. But also, I don't know if Giannis's handlers want him to go to Minnesota, a la Nike, who usually pushes for the big market. So you're talking about Chicago, LA, New York, right? You're talking about places like that. 646-995-8389. Call up and voice your opinion. You know, we could talk about the game. We could talk about Giannis. You know, we could talk about whatever you like, man. You know, this is the post-game call-up show. And I like to talk basketball. This is what I do. Man. Big time salute in the building. Continue to smash the like button. We need to get the likes up always. We got to tell the YouTube algorithm that this is the place to be. All right. Big time salute to my man J-Tap Mob. I see you in the building. Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. I just beat him in Fantasy League in the channel member Fantasy Only League, the members only league that we got going. And great to see you, man. Big time salute to Randu as well. What is your thoughts on this game? By the way, also, if you can't call up, you could always send in a donation, and I will make sure I respond to your message and give it the response that it deserves, because I know that it's late. Some of you guys are just chilling in the crib. You don't want to disturb the family, but this is always an option for you in case you need to get something off of your chest. As far as the game, where I was saying before Yuri called in, I noticed that Jordan Clarkson, despite having 12 points, I noticed that he was struggling earlier in the game. Like, he didn't have his legs under him. I attribute that to not playing, not getting enough time. And then once he was able to get comfortable, he's still the same guy, still the same bucket getter. So when I saw him bounce back later on in the game, this is why I asked the question. I'm like, should we just stand pat? We see what Jordan Clarkson can do. He can get buckets. We know we need more from him. And one of my criticisms from him this game, and I tried not to criticize him too hard because I felt like we won, we smacked them. You know, what are we asking for here? Perfection? But one of the things I noticed was defensively, he's just not it. Like, he had, how many fouls he had? 4 fouls. And listen, I don't mind him getting the fouls because when he gets the fouls, you know, he's at least trying to make some effort to get a stop. As long as he's not giving up and ones, I'm cool with it. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a stop and, oh, wow, I just got some breaking news that outside of basketball, Floyd Mayweather suing Showtime for money. That's crazy. Anyway, nonetheless, I get so many notifications. This is how I stay on top of the news. Anyway, to bring it back to this, I feel like defensively, he still gets cooked. And we don't need that in our lineup. You know, Brunson is out there playing his heart out on defense now. You know, we need everybody to be locked in on defense. And that's my one Jordan Clarkson critique that I had. Even though I like the way he still was getting buckets towards the end of the game in garbage time. Like, yo, I'm way better than, you know, these other guys. I'm way better than these other guys. So, yeah, I get it. I do get it. But OG Anunoby, man, let me tell you something. This guy, 6 of 11 from the field, 19 points. We got to give a big-time salute to this man, OG Anunoby. He has taken his game to another level, man, during this stretch. Like, his first step is literally unguardable. You cannot stop this man. And then he gets to the basket. He's drawing fouls. 5 free throws, 4 or 5 from the line. See, I could tell you 19 points. That's cool. I'm more concerned about the efficiency, how many times he got to the line, right? Was he knocking down them corner threes? He was, right? What about his turnovers? Is he playing under control? He was, right? And I'm telling you right now, man, when he gets that step on you, you can't stop him. You can only foul. Like, he is becoming really hard to guard, man, from the corner. And then he had the little step back. The step back, this was in the third quarter. I wrote that down. But, man, he had a nice little step back pull up, mid-range. Yo, he need to hang out with Kawhi Leonard. If I was him, I would call up Kawhi. Yo, I need you to show me your entire mid-range package, please. This man could be deadly from the mid-range. Deadly from the mid-range. Like, seriously. And I'm just, like, blown away. And I'm going to talk about tomorrow on the Blue and Orange Brunch Show. I'm going to talk about OG Anunoby, why I feel like he was snubbed for All-Stars. Yeah, I'm going in tomorrow. Another reason why you want to make sure you subscribe, because I'm going to bring that energy and that fire tomorrow. This man should have been an all-star. As far as, where else I want to go? Towns in the second quarter, I was concerned about him. I'm like, ooh, okay, first quarter, he only had 2 points, but he did have 4 rebounds. I knew he would dominate the glass. He always does against the Wizards, and he's been very dominant on the glass. Once again, to my double big lineup people, this is another example as to why I say that they play better apart. MSG had a stat that they shared. They said that anytime Karl Anthony Towns plays without Mitchell Robinson, he averages 14 rebounds. What did he have tonight? 14 rebounds on code, on cue. It's a spacing thing. Now, he didn't really shoot the greatest tonight, especially from 3, but he was still dominant on the glass, and he did get to the free throw line 6 times. I'm going to talk more about that, too, later. But Karl Anthony Towns had 8 points in the second quarter. I thought that he really asserted his will. And in the first game against the Wizards, and I talked about this morning, this is why you guys got to continue to stay tapped in. So when you watch the game, there's no way you could be surprised because I tell you pretty much everything that's going to happen. I told you that the first game, I reminded you that he scored 33 and 13. I said, yo, Towns is going to cook these dudes. Now, granted, he didn't get 33 this game because this game against the Wizards was a little close because in the fourth quarter, the Wizards tried to make a little run. I think they cut it to 12. And then, of course, the Knicks continued to run away with it. But so the guys played a little bit more minutes. You can see 32. Shaman only gets 25, but Bridges 29, Towns 30. So this game was a little closer. The guys had to play a little bit longer. But Towns was just dominant. I mean, in this game, Towns had a play where he looked like Shaq. He backsaw all the way down, 200 pounds, put him in the basket. So I knew that Towns was going to respond at some point, even though he didn't start off well, right? But him getting them 8 points, he started to assert his will, started to get to the line. And that's what we got. That's what Bodega Cat has to do. He has to find ways to get his shots off without compromising the integrity of where the team is. And I think these guys are reaching a level of confidence on the offensive end. I think we're going through an offensive renaissance. I really do believe it. I'm going to talk more about it on the Knicks in 10 show this Thursday. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you'll be there for that. It's a 10-game review show where I break down the Knicks every 10-game stretch, and I give you exactly where they are. This game helps us in so many ways, and I will break it down. But this team, I feel like, is definitely going through an offensive renaissance. I felt like they hit a wall, and they had to retool, reprogram it, and now you're starting to see 53% from the field, 46% from three. Damn near 43s, which was the goal for Mike Brown. But the bigger key to me is free throws. This is what I need to see. 21 attempts, 27 attempts, 21 makes. That is magic. In the first half, right, when the game was, when they still was asserting themselves as a defiant bunch, I believe they went... I write it down. I think they had like 19 free throws in the first. I got to stat check that. But they had a pretty solid amount of free throws in the first half. And yeah, I just thought that they were very, very good at attacking tonight. And they took smart three-point shots, but they made an effort to attack. And that's what I need to see. 52 two-point shots tonight. I take it. Anything over 50, because I think we're still around 51 points. I will have that number for you on the Knicks in 10 show. 51 attempts. So 52 two-point shots, I take it. I want to get to 55. But 52, I take. The offense, like I said, is going through a renaissance. Forget the fact that it's against a bad defense. I know that. I'm not gassing it up. But we had 132 points, which is another magical number. And while I'm here, I'm going to give you this stat in a second. But when you look at this game, look at only 2 starters with 20 points. They put up 130. Oh, by the way, Josh Hart had 4. My bad. I thought I could have sworn he had 10, but he had 4. But Josh Hart had 4 points, and 2 of your other starters had 19, and you still managed to put up 132. Do you know how high octane your offense is? I'm going to get into the bench a little bit later, but let me give you the stat on the points, right? If the Knicks are getting 130 points in the game, there's no way you could win. It's sort of like Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan mode. Like if you go into Super Saiyan mode, I wasn't the biggest Dragon Ball Z fan, but I know the Super Saiyan mode. It was like the superior mode that you can't be beat, and only a few characters can reach it or achieve that level. That is what 130 points is for the Knicks. All right, let me get this stat for you. Anytime the Knicks score 130 points or more, they are 9-1. 9-1. Virtually unstoppable. I gave you the assist numbers. See, this is confluence. Salute to my stock trader. This is what I look for. When I see basketball, you guys see basketball, I see numbers. I'm looking at confluence. So when I see going into the fourth quarter, the Knicks had 25 assists, I'm like, oh, yeah, they're going to get to the 30 assist mark. Forget the record when entering the fourth. I'm not even going there tonight. But just give me the assists and give me the points. 100-point third quarter, I'm going to have the stat for y'all on that, what our record is. I got to manually do it. But because I journal using the 82-night system, I just got to go through all 50 games and come up with the record. because in my journal, I track quarter scores as well. So I already made note of it. Record when we score 100 points in the third. Usually that's another magical mark. It's just too much magical things are happening for us to lose this game. You know what I'm saying? Like, another thing too, we had the biggest halftime lead. I already knew that because when we go into the second half with a lead, our record is 23-7. Dominant. So if you got the largest lead going in the half, game's over. I almost changed my position in the Discord. I was joking, but I said we might win this game by 40. Yeah. I said it might be by 40. 646-995-8387. Call up. Voice your opinion. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are on this game. We don't got to talk about the game. We could talk about Giannis as well. There's some more things from the second quarter, too. The defense continues dominant. Dominant defense. They only had 45 points in 2 quarters. Defense was dominant in the first half. Usually it's the second half we take over. But in the first half, these guys, incredible stuff. And then, like I said, Dragon Ball Z Super Saiyan mode, they went on a 14-0 run in 90 seconds. This is what you do to bad teams. You punish them. Matter of fact, let me go back into the club. So tonight is our 22nd blowout victory of the season. 22 of our 32 victories are all blowouts. Now, once again, I have my own methodology. I track blowouts as anything that's not a close game. Not clutch game, anything that's not a close game, because we actually had a clutch game blowout against the Sacramento Kings. It was 5-5, but we still blew them out by 16, which is incredible. Like I said, the offense, we have the potential to have the best offense in basketball. We're going to see tomorrow because the Denver Nuggets have the #1 offense in basketball. Now, that might change. I know they lost tonight, whatever. I don't know. But, they were the #1 offense coming into tonight. I think they more than likely will probably still be the #1 offense. And it's going to be a battle of the top 3 offenses. And we're going to see who prevails. But see, what makes this contest really lean in our favor is the defense. And I'm going to talk more about that in the morning. I don't want to steal my morning show thunder. But this Knicks team, I feel like, has the potential to be the best offense in basketball. Now, if we have the best offense in basketball, something that's not really a staple in New York lore, like Knicks fans and Knicks lore is kind of like defense, grit and grind kind of. But this team, we have offense, and it's really elite. I'm going to show you how elite this offense is. The question is, will it hold up into the postseason? It should. And will it be enough to win us the championship? All of these questions remain. If you want to talk about it, 646-995-8389. Call up and voice your opinion. We're talking about this Washington Wizards game. I'm giving you all of the things I noted from this game, certain numbers that you may not have known, no one else is talking about. You could call up and give me your thoughts as well. We also talked about some of the trades. Are you concerned about Cleveland's moves or Detroit's moves, or are you confident? But like I said, in terms of going after Giannis, we had to go try to get him because everyone else is trying to get better. And if you're not trying to get better, then by default, you can get worse. There could be some slippage. So you should always be looking to improve your team. And if I had to answer the question, should we stand pat at the deadline? I'm going to say no. I think that you definitely need to consider making the move. But I will be back more with your calls after these messages.
Most basketball fans watch games and talk loud, but they're not really seeing anything. They're reacting. They're repeating what they heard. They're not analyzing. They're not breaking it down. You want to be different? 82 nights, over 200 pages where you document what you actually see, break down rotations, track patterns game to game, highlight the players making moves. When you put it on paper, you start seeing what actual fans miss. Your predictions improve, your insights get sharper, your basketball understanding jumps. You stop sounding like everyone else and you start speaking from knowledge. That's what this channel is about. That's what 82 Nights is about. Link in chat. Elevate your game now.
Definitely check out the 82 Nights, the official basketball intelligence system, man. This is how I keep track of everything. This is why I'm on point. Buying this will help expand your basketball knowledge beyond the horizon. Big time salute to everybody in the building, man. I see some channel members in the house. My man George Bryce, I see you big time. I see you big time. I see you, Zach, again. My man Grady High School, Gun Clap in the building. Definitely get the likes up. We have to continue to get the likes up. That's the golden rule on this channel. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. Okay, as we need your help or your support. So if you are watching this video and you are a frequent visitor on the channel and you hadn't realized it yet, but you're not subscribed, it's common. 56% of our viewers are not subscribed. So we need you to do your part and smash the button and also hit that bell icon so you get the notifications, man. We do 2 shows a day. I am here, okay? So we can discuss it. We can talk about it on the show. Make sure you guys continue to smash the like button. And of course, we got the Knicks Fanathon, which is going down February 13th, all right, to the 14th. Make sure you guys are in the building. We're going to be bringing an all-star weekend together with a magnificent energy on the channel, okay? 24 hours, live stream, the first ever in history. It's going down in this space, in this community. All you got to do is subscribe. We're on the road to 10K. And like I always say, I probably won't end the stream until we get 10,000 subscribers. So yeah, 646-995-8389. Call up if you want to talk about this Wizards game or anything else that, you know, plagues our minds. I got questions. Should the Knicks, where will the Knicks be in the next 3 games? We got Boston, we got Denver, we got Detroit. Do we get 2 wins, 3 wins? What do we do? What do we do? Okay. Should we stand pat? Do we have everything that we need on this team? We got young guys. We got guys with size. We got, you know, guards. Should we stay pat? Mo Diawara, did he prove that he's ready to be that 9th guy in the rotation? What say you? Let me know. 646-995-8389. I'm going to talk a little bit more about this game. I treat every game the same, right? Because I literally could have half-assed it and just not really took no notes. Like, oh, yeah, we're going to smack them. But no, I actually paid attention. Like, this game was the Detroit Pistons. And I got so much notes on this game that, yeah, you would think that I work for the team. So Bridges and Towns have a certain ESP that they're developing where they look for each other, you know, on drives and things of that nature. And hold on, I did miss a call. Let me get this call. I'm going to get back to Bridges in a second. Let me get this call in. It seems like once I turned off my notifications, now I'm not getting the notifications. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. Let's see if this brother answers the phone. Call up, let us know. If I miss your call, I also will call you back. Sometimes I don't see when the calls pop up.
Hello?
Hello, caller. State your name and where you are calling from.
Dave from New Haven, Connecticut.
Dave from New Haven, man. Talk to me, man. How you feeling, man? What was your thoughts on tonight's performance?
Incredible. I got home and they were up 30.
Nice.
That's a good feeling. As far as staying pat, though, I think going to get Giannis is a mistake. I think the team, they got a good nucleus. They got good chemistry. We've experienced that with Melo when they went and got Melo and they gave up half the team, and it was a struggle. I think they have all the pieces that they need to come out the East. I think they have all the pieces that they need to compete for a championship. You know, brothers, everybody's stepping up. Right now, Cat's not playing well. Brunson's not putting up numbers, but we got Anunoby, a couple other brothers putting the ball in the hole. Kolick is coming off the bench playing well.
Right.
I think the team is good, bro. The team is good. I like Willie. I roll at everybody. I like I like how they put the team together, how they built the team. The only drawback is I wish they could have kept DiVincenzo. And what's his name out in OKC. But I think they're good, bro. I think they're good.
Okay. I definitely got a lot to respond to your call. I don't want to take up your time, but I do want to ask a follow up.
I ain't doing nothing. I'm chilling.
I want to ask a follow up. No, because you only got 3 minutes, but I want to ask a follow up. Do you don't think we should trade Yabusele or like a smaller move? You don't think we should do that?
Like a smaller move, but not going to get Giannis, where you're gonna have to give up big pieces like Pat and a couple other people. If we can get rid of Yabusele and save the $6 million to keep us under the second apron and maybe sign Mitch back next year, of course. But we're kind of begging to get rid of Yabusele. Nobody's really taking him right now. But if we can move him, that would be great. That'd be great. Maybe get a third center or something like that. Maybe get. I mean, I don't know what else we really need with Landry Shamet shooting the rock the way he is. People, brothers scoring. I think we're good. If we can get rid of Yabusele, I actually saw something where he's thinking about going back to the European League. If he does that and gives us a break, we're good.
Which is a possibility, a strong possibility. I'm hoping that happens for his sake as well.
Yeah, because what I was reading is like
10 seconds.
Anyway, thanks, bro. Thanks for the call.
Big time. I got your number. I got your number locked in. I'm gonna respond too. All right.
All right, bro. Peace.
Big time salute. That's my man Dave out of New Haven. I'm gonna respond to what he said. Big time salute to the callers, man. And Knicks Nation, sometimes we just gotta agree to disagree. Because he kind of contradicted himself when he said he didn't want to see DiVincenzo and Hartenstein go. But if DiVincenzo and Hartenstein doesn't go, then you don't get Towns. So what is it you want? Do you want Towns or do you want DiVincenzo? Right? And then the Melo stuff, I'm gonna get to that later. I'm gonna get to this next call. I will respond. Hello, caller. State your name and where you're calling from.
It's LB, Queens via North Carolina right now.
Let's go. Yes, sir. So talk to me, man. Where you want to go? You want to talk about the game? You want to talk about trades? Or should we stay pat? What say you?
I want to talk about trades. Ain't no need to talk about that Wizards game. We knew.
Let's go. All right.
Have you heard this new circumstances I heard about what's going on in Sacramento? Where if they don't find a trade, a team to trade DeMar DeRozan to, they're gonna buy him out.
Wow.
And that could be a guy that we could get for like our backup guard or like starting guard or like however they want to do the roster like setup or whatever.
Oh, okay. I like that. If he gets bought out, bring him in to come in off the bench. Okay.
So imagine like Kolick like coming in, like DeMar DeRozan leading the floor and all of that stuff. Like I was never really a DeMar DeRozan guy because he always freezes up in the playoffs.
Right.
When he was in Toronto and all that and all these other places. But him as like a fifth option, that's a little dangerous.
Yeah, he's a mid-range guy too, man. He gets buckets in that mid-range, boy.
Yeah, so like when Mikal is not hot, they could just put in DeRozan when he's on fire. So
facts.
That's what I like. I was like, yeah, we need to take a look at that. And as far as Giannis, like, not worried about the Warriors, no matter how much propaganda they put out there to force him to go, like, to put him in Golden State. I'm glad Giannis actually said something about that.
Right.
Like, I'm not going the KD route, thank God.
Hell no. Yep.
And then Minnesota's actually making me nervous because that could actually be a reality. At that point, I'm just begging him not to sign the extension. Just
Why would
give
he go? But
Minnesota
why would he
two.
go to? But why would he go there? That's another Milwaukee.
It depends on what they trade, because they would have to trade Rudy. I don't.
But it's
They
a
gonna have
small
to trade
market, is what
Rudy.
I'm saying. They're limited. That like you want to go to a big market to be a big star. You want to go to Minnesota? Come on, man.
Yeah, that sounds like a more of a Milwaukee
Right. That's what I'm saying.
move than Giannis. But I guess that they want to do that trade, then because to get McDaniels or whoever on Milwaukee or whatever. Giannis can do it for this year and the rest of next year. Then he can go to free agency.
Right, which is possible.
Because he's been, because everybody that keep putting him in all these other markets, they do not. It's like, are y'all listening to this mofo for like the last 3 years?
Right.
He wants to go to a big market. Minnesota ain't a big market.
Seconds.
Period, man. But yo, LB, I appreciate the call, man. Great call as always, man. Big time salute.
All right.
Keep the calls coming. 646-995-8389. I want to respond back to my other brother from New Haven that called in. He said, so he kind of contradicted himself with the whole Hartenstein thing, right? Because you don't get Towns without those guys leaving. That's one. Two, you got to stop comparing Melo to Giannis. They're not the same player. Giannis is a 2-time MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, Finals MVP, had 50 in the finals, 7 straight All-NBA first teams. Melo did none of that. Melo was never a first team. I love Melo. I'm not knocking him. He was one of my favorite players coming out of BK. I know he's from Baltimore, but the name of the podcast is called 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. It's not called 7 p.m. in Baltimore. I'm sorry. That's my guy. But the facts of the matter is you can't compare. It's two different scenarios. Those guys back then was getting like $5 million, $2 million. Mikal Bridges is going to make $38 million next year. OG Anunoby is he's in the 40s. Towns is going to be just under 60. You can't just group guys together because now you got to account for another $50 million, which is not always easy to do. Now, it may be easier to do in the offseason, but more than likely you wouldn't have to trade those 3 guys. You might have to give up 2 of those guys because one of those guys will go to a third team to furnish picks. That will be the goal over the summer. So the deal, honestly, is easier to be done in the summer. I just feel like you got to shed more salary. And then another thing to you, brother, you said Mitchell Robinson. You can't sign Mitchell Robinson without being a second apron team. If you sign Mitchell Robinson, you will be a second apron team. See, that is the question. Is this team worthy enough to be a second apron team? It's set up perfectly because they got to win the championship, I think, or at least get to the finals to justify that. Hello, caller. State your name and where you calling from. Hello, caller. Are you there? Can you hear me? Testing 1, 2, 3. You're on the air. All right, maybe they'll call back. 646-995-8389. Call up. We talking about the Wizards, or we talking about Giannis, I guess. We might have to change the title, Maxine. You're listening. We might have to change the title to Giannis, the Giannis Antetokounmpo files or something. I don't know. But, yeah, I feel like the Carmelo Anthony trade is just not a fair comparison. Carmelo is not on Giannis's level. And those guys, then you complaining about gutting the team. Who are we losing? What did Mikal Bridges ever win? What did OG Anunoby ever win? Yes, he won the championship, but he didn't even play in the playoffs. It's all facts. These guys haven't done nothing. Oh, I need to hold on to these guys. Well, they got to do something. And if you don't win the championship this summer, I'm definitely going to want to trade you even more because that's not how it works in this league, man. The Knicks got some serious questions that they need to answer. And one of those questions is, do we keep these guys together? Another thing, too, to all you guys talking about, let's build. Leon Rose doesn't build nothing. Every single year, this team is different. Every year. I wanted to see the 4 Nova boys with Randall and OG. I wanted to see them. They won 12 out of the 14 games. Randall gets thrown out the air by Jaime Jaquez, and now he's never to be seen again. I wanted to see that, but Leon Rose said, no, we got to get Towns. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. Let me know what your thoughts are. Got some things we're talking about, teams making trades, right? And a lot of interesting things going on. Call up, let your voice be heard. You could also send in a donation as well, and I will break it down for you on the screen. You can send it via Cash App, Super Chat, and voice your concerns. By the way, I took a glimpse in the chat. In terms of like those other teams, we talked about this in the morning show, the blue and orange brunch show, because sometimes now we're doing it at 11, so it's become a brunch show. Still breakfast, but brunch show. Anyway, we talked about where the reports are indicating that Giannis will be moved during the summertime. Golden State's off the table. He doesn't want to go to Golden State. He's not trying to be in KD's shadow. Out of those teams that remains, the Knicks are not aggressive right now, but can be in the summertime. The Knicks, I still feel, have the best odds to getting Giannis over the summer because there will be more options available. And the fact of the matter is, the Minnesota Timberwolves don't have picks like that. They're trying to offer players. They're trying to get 3 or 4 teams involved. But does Giannis want to go to Minnesota? Think about it. Why would I want to stay in that region? I want to go to a big market. Why would he want to do it? So that's what the reports are. So Golden State is on the outs. Minnesota, they're trying hard. They're working the hardest. And Miami, they ain't got a hope. They ain't got a prayer. They don't got a prayer. So that's where we are with the Giannis trade. Any other updates that comes up between now and tomorrow, we will address it on the Blue and Orange Brunch show tomorrow. But yeah, that's my thoughts on different trade packages. What I deal with, this is why I go here. See, I go here. I go to research mode and I go read the sources. I don't, I'm not the one that makes up the ideas. Like, see this NBA, they report it from Shams. They got the report. This is where I get my info from. I'm not sitting here just making stuff up. That's why I stay on research mode. So you can't give me that jacket. You can't put the false jacket on me, y'all. Right? But these are the moves that happen. We could talk about these moves too if you think that it impacts the Knicks. This West Coast business, I don't understand it. I get it, but it's just a weird trade. Like Utah does like the most weirdest moves. Who are you gonna play now? You got marketing. You got Kessler, who you got to re-sign. You got this kid Ace Bailey, and now Jaren Jackson. Where you gonna play him? You gonna bring Ace Bailey off the bench? Man, the Nets dropped the ball, man. The Nets could have got Ace Bailey. That was the spot he should have went to. But the Utah Jazz are one of the weirdest teams. It's like they just want forwards. I don't understand. Hold on. While we here, let's have some fun. I don't know, man. I can't explain it. It's just certain teams. Now I'm questioning if whether or not Danny Ainge is a great GM. Unless he got some other moves, which could be the case. But, look at the amount of big guys they got. Do you see the amount of big guys they got? Nurkic, Kessler, Love, Londell, Markkanen, Jaren Jackson, Kyle Flipkowski. I don't even know who this kid is. Oscar, who the hell is that? Ace Bailey, he's 6'10", another big-ass forward. They got so many big guys. How are they going to play these guys? They might as well send Kyle Flipkowski to us. I take Kyle Flipkowski. I'll send them Jordan Clarkson back. That's a joke. That's a joke. Well, I don't know what the hell Utah's trying to do. They try to put a whole front court lineup out there. Nothing but front court dudes. 5 power forwards. That's going to be their lineup. Don't make no sense to me whatsoever. there's some more elements to this game I want to break down. So I talked about the Bridges Towns ESP, the back doors, incredible. I talked about OG Anunoby. He had a nice little step back in the third quarter that made me think like, man, he needs to go work with Kawhi Leonard. And then, of course, the Knicks, they get the lead up to 32 points. Now, once I see the Knicks get the lead up to 32 points, I'm like, yo, they're trying to tank. In the back of my mind, I'm saying, yo, the Wizards, they're trying to tank. Because, and now, once again, I don't got no proof of this, so I'm going to put the disclaimer up for myself. All right, but when's the last time you seen a team go 11 of 22 from the free throw line? They went 11 for 22 in the third quarter from the free throw line. Then they started hitting free throws again. They got the free throws up to 20 and 32. I don't know. Something is a little spooky to me. I ain't gonna lie. Something is a little off. It's like, all right, now y'all can hit free throws now. By the way, against the Sacramento Kings, they took their starting lineup out in the third quarter when they were up by 12 and never put them back in the game. The NBA should investigate the Washington Wizards for tanking purposely. I thought they had rules in place to prevent tanking. Trae Young probably won't play for the rest of the year. All to try to convey the pick that they traded to us. It's not right. So while this game was not interesting and we smacked the crap out of them, it does have these underlying elements to it that I think should be worth mentioning. 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. I'm curious. I want to know what your thoughts is. You know, we talking about the game. We talking about trades. We're talking about a lot of things, man. We're talking about a lot of things, man. Those are the things I noticed about the game. Fourth quarter came, you know, bench guys came in there. Ariel had a 3-point shot. I thought that was impressive. I saw him hit that shot in Westchester. By the way, in the G League, Ariel, he's very aggressive. Like, he gets buckets in the G League. Now, I know it's the G League, but Ariel showing you that he's becoming a little bit more comfortable. I'm not sure if I trust him in the playoff run if Mitch goes down, but it's something to consider. Wizards were 2 and 22 against 500 and above teams. Terrible. Terrible. OG Anunoby, 22 in his last 5 games. We asked the question on the last show, is he the de facto second option? What say you? 22 in the last 5 games. That puts him at the number 2 option. I just think that the Knicks are just dialed in, and this is all about developing good habits going forward. Like, when you look at this schedule right here, we'll go to the full schedule. When you look at the full schedule, you see all these wins after all of these losses. This to me shows me that this team is ready to do some magical things. So salute to my man Dave from New Haven. I do agree that this team is capable of winning even if they don't trade Giannis. I'm not as confident about winning no championship. I am not going to cap to you. But in terms of getting to the finals and being that top alpha team in the Eastern Conference, these wins right here, man, I don't give a damn who it's against. You put up this many wins in a row, man. This developed winning habits, right? It gives the guys confidence to continue to push forward. And I expect these boys to make magical things happen for the remainder of the series. And I wouldn't be surprised for the season. And I wouldn't be surprised if we catch the Detroit Pistons and pass the Detroit Pistons, man. But listen, man, I want to thank you guys for rocking out with me. I will be back tomorrow. Blue and Orange Brunch Show, 11 a.m. sharp. Be there or be square. I do appreciate you guys. And until next time, as always, let's go.